Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Matcast here again. Casting Game 2 of Nocturnal Rainbow versus Wards and Base. Gonna be exciting. The last game was pretty good. Saw a wonderful little turnaround by Rainbow as they hit their timing windows and managed to pull back. What felt to out of the laning stage to be a tough game for them, with some beautiful, beautiful RPs. And now here we are in game number 2. The Magnus will get respect banned. Nocturnal Rainbow will pick up the Jakiro. Unsurprising, they picked up last game, but the Doom's been left in the pool, and Wards and Base will rightfully snap that one up quick. Definitely feels like one of the strongest heroes in Dota right now. So I am unsurprised to see him picked up, but Nocturnal Rainbow, another hero that was banned out last game, the OG will get snap picked, followed by Grimstroke, as we have just a rapid draft. Juggernaut banned out, first carry. So let's take a moment to think here. Doom, obviously very good against OD, especially when you combo him with that Grimstroke character. The double Doom potential is high if they can get the combo off. And the one thing that I do notice is sometimes teams will go a bit too far in favor of looking for that double Doom that they'll just never do. And I would hate to see both teams, though, banning out carries as expected of the second phase. And we saw from in the last series that I cast from Z Factor. They like to pick that fourth pick carry. It usually worked out pretty well for them, as the TB's been banned out. The AFs have been out. The Jug, you're rapidly running out of heroes. Big ones still in the pool that we think of are that Spectre and Sven. PA is kind of up and coming quite a bit in the carry role. Not really out of any changes, but I've been seeing some PA, and I've been liking what I've been seeing. Wards and Base will ban out the Mars, so they're actually electing to take out offlaners. Then we'll 5th pick the Lich, another solid Grimstroke combo hero. And that's one way to ensure that you have a Grimstroke combo, is just make everyone combo with Grimstroke. That will also put that Grimstroke in the 4th position, so we might see that Aether, might see that Blink Dagger coming out, letting him get that initiation of the bonds. And Nocturnal Rainbow will pick the Undying. And I hate to say it, but that instantly puts them at like minus 10% win rate for me. Undying, very strong in the lane. And if you can crush a lane hard enough, it doesn't matter. But really, Dire lanes don't seem super susceptible to the Undying just yet. We'll have to see what they're going to pick. And Undying can fall off very hard, and I'm worried that he might this game. We'll have to wait and see. One of those unfortunate heroes where he seems to not really do a whole lot in that mid game. And I would love to, you know what? I'd love to see a balance patch come out sometime soon here. Feels like we've been playing on this patch for a while, and the meta has definitely shifted during this patch. But it feels odd not having that shake-up patch in that post-TI. We do know that likely sometime in November we're getting the new hero. Or a new hero, as Valve intends to release more of them. So we can hope for that balance patch to come through relatively soon. Possibly even before the new hero comes out, but just have to wait and see with that. Probably see some Sven nerfs, some Spectre nerfs, maybe some buffs to traditional team fighting, like pacemaking mid laners. Feels like the classic mid lane has kind of died. The mid lane that I used to play with, your TAs, your SFs, your Linas. Orson Base will pick up the Drow again, okay. They still think that Drow Ranger is strong. And I don't know if I necessarily blame them. Their issue in the last game wasn't the Drow in particular. It was more they just got obliterated in team fights very quickly, and Drow never really stood a chance. Nocturnal Rainbow will pick up the Wraith King as a carry. Don't feel super great about the Wraith King either. He's a hero that I really enjoy, and I love playing, but he doesn't feel very strong right now. The new build-up is that, like, Armlet, Blink, Blade Mail build-up, which is good, but it just doesn't feel on par with, like, a Sven or a Spectre, you know, these other carries that just seem to do so much more right now. Which is a shame, because like I said, I do love the hero. I know in Pro Tier he has about a 43% win rate. In Pro-level pubs, you don't want to see... you hate to see stuff like that, but honestly, it's kind of warranted after some of the shenanigans that Hector used to pull on this hero. Now the bans will come out. Obviously, Rainbow do need an offlaner. And Wards. I'd say they need an offlaner as well, unless they are going to run this Doom in the mid specifically. Which would feel a little bit awkward here. Final pick, though, from Nocturnal Rainbow is going to be the CK. So this is probably the 3K, if I had to imagine. I mean, like 3K. I've said it before. It feels like it's underwhelming. If you build it as a carry, then you don't really have an offlaner. If you build it as an offlaner, then why not just pick an offlaner? I've seen it work. I'm not saying it's strictly bad. I just think it's a bit underwhelming, especially as you're 19. And, okay, yeah. That is a Broodmother. Yeah, no. That is a 20 pick. Or 10 pick, excuse me, 20 pick. That is a 10 pick, a powerful one there. Unless you run maybe into hero mid, I think you may have just lost. There's no heroes on Rainbow that can deal with that Broodmother. And I think Rainbow know it, as they are taking a long time to select their heroes. I've got to say, between these final 3 picks of Rainbow and that Broodmother, and pretty significant, going like at least 75% wards and baits. I feel like this is a clean outdraft from wards and base at this stage. But we'll have to see as we get into the game. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Hey guys, sorry about that. I got pulled away. You might have noticed a bit of jitter, but shouldn't be an issue. Man, excited to see how this game plays out. Gotta say, this Broodmother pick is just so terrifying, man. If I'm on the side of Nocturnal Rainbow, I'm definitely feeling very scared. Looks like they are going to put... yeah, looks like they are going to put Hexy up against OD. As I think they had a sub last game, if I'm not mistaken. That's definitely what it looks like to me here. Not gonna be able to check or anything, but I do think it was a sub last game.
Stay frosty for battle.
Alright, yeah, now we are here. Everything seems to be working. And I gotta say... Oh god! Big pop-up wards and base. I think you have the big advantage here. But yeah, now they have Hexy. Do you think last game they had someone else? I'm gonna check before I look like an idiot. Did you see them put down a ward in the mid lane? Unsurprising.
Just 30 seconds now.
Yeah, they had insane chaos in their last game, as I recall. Oh, they did have a sub. Not that it really matters. They have their actual gamer here, and we're going to see a bit of a brawl. And it looks like it is going to be another 3-for-1 in favor of Rainbows. It's going to be a 4-for-1. Then is he forced to go back? He'll get the bounty, and I think he'll get out with his life too. Yeah. Oh, actually, he may have made a mistake here, and I think he did. Forced to pop the stick, and I think this time, just give up. Don't try and walk up onto that high ground. Just don't do it, Danner. Don't eat the tag. Just go home and TP to the fucking bot lane or something. Excuse me. The professional stream here. Minimal swearing. As he's... What the heck? He's still brawling it out. The one advantage for Hexy, that in this early game at least, Hexy does definitely have the advantage over Badonk. But I think that will rapidly change once Badonk starts getting up these spiders. And then Hexy will have to be very careful. Unfortunately, the Arcane Orb, as you can see, no longer does splash damage. There was a brief window when it did, as I recall. No longer. Now down in the bot lane. Normally, we'd see this Doom in the mid lane, but not today. I think it is an excellent pivot, though, this game. When you see a Brood game like this, you just say, alright, fine, we'll put the Doom off lane. Ooh, as he doesn't get the last hit there. Bit unfortunate. But yeah, obviously I think that this lane should heavily favor Badonk. And I feel like, ooh, as we might have a first blood here, Gorg's taking a lot of damage and he will be the first to drop. Once again, Math Jets on the Jakiro to get the kill. Donkey Kong actually taking quite a bit of damage. Of course, though, the one downside is, sure, he's losing his HP. But on the other hand, that just makes Devour more percentage healing. So that'll work out well for him. Yeah, look at this now. Badonk hits level 4. Doom does die. It's honestly quite surprising. That's my bad for missing that. Now look at Badonk. Going to have no trouble at all sustaining this army. Actually, it's going to have to be exceptionally cautious in this lane. Especially once he hits level 5. If he elects to get that last, or that third level in the spiders and the camp stacked for himself. You'll love to see it. As he's completing out. Looks like his null tally. He's just getting... Oh, no. I'm a fool. He's going straight into the Orchid, and he has the regen rings for the Orchid. He will be having a very good time as Hexy taking a lot of damage. Every time he walks up the lane, he has to be afraid for his life. Still doing pretty well for himself, has the 2 null tallies. of his own. Donk will get the 3rd level in spiders. Now, without the soul ring, it is a little bit difficult for him to sustain himself here. Look at that, he just sends the spiders under Hexy. Dares him to try and fight. The other lanes, though, all going very well for Radiant. A Drow having a bit of a rough time. Wait, Drow's in a dangerous position here. I think Saint likely to fall here is juking pretty well. Will get found by Math Jets. The armor's there, but I think Saint is still going to tick out here. Indeed he will. But will Math Jets get traded out for it? I do not believe so, as Gorgs has to go on a run. The luck from Tech 9! And I think Gorgs is going to fall as well. Indeed he will. Then down bottom, Donkey Kong also having to be very careful. But I think this one might actually work out in their favor, as no! With one more decay and the punch. You know, I didn't give them... Oh no, Pi and Cuba, careful. One more right click would be enough. I do think the damage comes out from the Inkswell on the creep. But Thanner, he might fall himself. No, the dive is not going to be there. And now, Badonk, though, is pretty much running away with this lane. Is he going to try and get a push-off with this siege creep? He may elect to do so, but doesn't have a whole lot of creeps available for himself. But he's doing just fine. He is going to take off in a major way, I do believe. Question is it enough to counteract these two poor lanes in his side lanes? They're both not going nearly as well as I think they would hope for. It's Hexy. Look at those little nibbles. Such a small amount of damage until you add into the fact that, oh, they get the courier! The spiders, they take out the courier. The Donk is having a fantastic time up here. As Saint has to be careful, the Ice Armor will come out, but there's a lot of damage available. That's half of his HP, but with that multi-shot, Tech 9 takes a lot of damage. They both have a South, so nothing really will come of it, I do not believe. Yeah, but Donk's going to have to put a lot of this game on his shoulders here. Already has one of the Oblivion Staffs. Second one, not too far behind. And once he gets that Fast Orchid, he will be very dangerous. He'll finally start getting that incapacitating bite. And that's when he really becomes a kill threat. As that slow is quite powerful. The DD here, it actually might look for something. And indeed, they will look for Tustin. The Inkswell onto the spider, and that's a kill for Badonk. Feels like just another creep, though. Well, Hexy trying to go for the drums. With a faded brooch, too. That's even more mana for the Broodmothers. Look at Hexy taking so much damage from these spiders. And because the tower only hits one spider at a time, it works out pretty well for Badonk, as now with the DD he'll be able to start sieging the tower. But his Creep Wave will unfortunately fall. And now without an OD in the lane, we'll be able to get the siege in, and this tower is falling quite rapidly. Fortifies there. Donk will leave. 3 Radiant heroes in the area. Get this, Hexy's already almost dead again. Has to be so very careful as... Oh no, Jakiro will miss with both of his Q and his Liquid Fire. And Hexy might just drop. Oh no, the webs aren't there. Now Badonk has to be careful. He is running. The one thing is that they do have good spider clear with the team, but Badonk just walks away. And this is a 4-man rotation, right? I think the only one still farming in the bottom lane. That's going to free up this Drow, and Badonk, while kind of slowed down, doesn't mind this at all. as he will continue farming with or without these heroes here. Suddenly, the map feels so open for Drow. Drow now probably going to farm pretty much freely. Had a bit of the rough lane that we talked about, but it doesn't matter if your lane just gets abandoned. The Ice Path, though, does come out. Badonk does take quite a bit of damage, and the hammer gets dropped. And it doesn't even matter. Badonk's still in lane. Oh, he does get pulled up into a banishment, and he will fall. If OD dies, though, it wouldn't be the worst in the world. However, I think he's going to live, and indeed he just will. Meanwhile, Doom dies. Excellent, excellent for the side of Rainbows. That's some good XP for them, and that will slow down this Broodmother just a titch. Broodmother a little bit too confident. Now Thanner has to be careful. He'll put down the Inks well. The stun, though, won't connect, and looks like Radiant are just going to back off, not willing to dive that deep under tower. The issue is, you get the kill once, but they don't really slow down Badonk at all. Actually, look at this. OD is TPing into the bot lane. Badonk doesn't know this, but if he did, he'd be able to take this tower pretty much for free, as they are trying to go in. The Doom has come out onto the CK, and CK is taking a bit of damage, but he will get Astral Imprisonment up to get saved. So another 2 kills going the way of Rainbow here. But they will, unfortunately, lose their middle tower in exchange, as somehow Hexy gets a kill onto the Lich. I don't even know how that happened. But oh no. Tustin, you gotta be careful, buddy. As even with the banishment, those spiders are powerful. Donk, though, what are you doing? You're just eating the damage. That was a very interesting play from Donk, just kind of walking, ignoring Hexy. That's a second death, and now it starts to get costly, as he's now fallen behind Hexy in a major way. And it's one of those things where you feel invincible, but if you're not careful, you can quickly fall off on this hero. We'll have to see how he adjusts here. It has taken the mid 2-1. So he is able to slow the game down, play it more his pace. And even with his deaths, the Drow has been totally free for the past 3 or 4 minutes now. Looks like Brood will return to the mid lane. As long as he plays carefully, he should be okay. Really needs to wait for that level of incapacitating bite. That missed chance will also help him a lot into this OD. The supports maybe looking to make a smoke play here. Indeed they... Will they be able to find this Wraith King? Hasn't skilled the ult yet, but of course, holding the point. No, he's actually spent the point, so if he goes down here, that is just death for him. Oh, and that is a excellent leash. And is it going to be enough? It is. They'll be able to take out the Wraith King. They might lose Sander Z4, but they also get the Tombstone for it. The chain bounces, but don't think it's going to do too much, as Donkey Kong does look to continue his push, steals the net creep, but yeah, but I don't think you want to keep going. Both of these heroes are quite capable of slowly pushing you back. They'll be happy with the trade. Top tower, I'd say taking damage, but it's just a range creep. The next wave will do much more, as Saint completing up that Yasha shortly. Now Badonk. Finally, he has the levels, or a level in his E, so he will be much better off against this OD. 3 heroes are in the area, but not quite really able to do much to him. The Orchid comes out onto the Undying. Astral Imprisonment is there, but I think he's going to come out before it pops, or is he? No. He will live just barely. The Spiderling's going to run on home, escape the damage. But that's with 3 heroes here. Badonk almost gets the kill. Just look at this, 4 heroes sitting in the area. Wraith King relegated to the triangle. As Math Jets might be the next target. Has to be careful. Those movements slow If he gets the spiders on top of him, it's very powerful. Badonk pops the ultimate, gets the silence onto Maf Jets, and I think that is a very dead Jakiro as he pops to the Orchid, as they also lose bot tower, and top is being pressured. You know, the side lanes look pretty bad for 4 wards, but looking much better for them now. As this Broodmother has kind of pulled 3 heroes into this mid lane. Now going for that Aghanims, unsurprising. The next item in the smoke coming in out of Dire. Do have an OD in a kind of risky position if they do manage to get the catch. All of Radiant's heroes are in the general vicinity, though. They'll have to be a little spooked, as it looks like they're trying to make a play onto Drow, but Thanner will catch it out. So that is the interrupted gank. Although Drow really in the area, but still, you're okay with that. If you're a support, you say, okay, they did a big rotation and all they got was me. And they might set up for a tower here as well, but I don't think that's a trade you want to make, as they've kind of just left this lane alone. Badonk now free to besiege the tier 2 tower. Radiant, of course, do have a fortification, but I think either way, you're going to see some damage go in, as there is a siege creep. That's very good damage. This is probably going to be half HP to the tower. Badonk will have to run himself away. And you're pretty happy with that. That's about 2/3 HP. As, oh no. Tustin, you gotta be careful. He doesn't have anything. I guess he must have had an expiring range drop or something, because he took no damage from that Lich Q. Oh, it's only level 1, that's why. Oh, but now Badonk will have even more spiders on the field. You'll love to see it. Skeletons turn into spiders when they die? I am unsure. Doom going to get that Blink Dagger up very soon. Will then become a powerful force of his own, and he'll get the Stomp. So he has that team fight ability. Donk? This is full Aghanims? No. Not just yet. He's not quite farming that well. But still doing very well for himself. About 1,200 gold behind it. Drow free to go for this Dragon Lance. Not really feeling any pressure at all. Look at this Dire. Radiant just have to keep heroes in the area. They have to be near this Broodmother at all times, or else Brood could just end it. Now with that Doom Blink Dagger, you have to imagine they're going to look for something here. What will they try and do? Will they bait Badonk on this mid-tier 2? Will they just look to invade the triangle or possibly the jungle? Right now, looks like they are happy just to keep farming. Here we go. Thanerzy's in the area. It looks like they're setting up behind Badonk at the moment. Badonk is going to continue his shove. Not gonna find anyone here just yet. If I were in their shoes, I'd be saying, let's just push this tier 2. Just take it out. Let's just deal damage. Force Radiant to respond, but it doesn't matter because it looks like they are going to find Tech 9, the Blink, the stun. They're not even going to need the Doom for this kill, I don't think, as he gets stunned up again. He does have the ultimate if he wants to pop it, but he won't get it off because of the silence. And now, here comes a big Chain Frost. Is this going to bounce between them? That is definitely going to be 3 kills for them. Meanwhile, though, Donk getting gone on a little bit, but actually, he's the one going. The BKB is forced out from Hexy, but I don't think this is really going to matter, as what are you going to do? Kill Badonk? He's just going to run over. You're going to have to drop the hammer if you want the kill, but Doom's here, and Doom is going to pop the Doom. You've stayed too long. Now he will drop, and I have to imagine this is going to be a tier 2, as Pi in Cuba walks out himself. And this is suddenly looking very dangerous. TPs, though, do come in from the side of the Radiant. They will be able to save the tier 2 and Pi in Cuba. but very costly for the side of Rainbow here. As Saint farms up the whole time. Doing just fine, not even really involved in this game, and I don't mean that in a bad way. As oh no, Pie Cuba, he puts the stun out onto the Doom. It's only an illusion. Huston. Oh wait, Pie Cuba has gone for the traditional Radiance build. Build that we haven't seen in a while, but against these spiders, it's actually not awful. Just have to be careful. All of Dire Heroes are in the area, and Badonk is very powerful himself. But these spiders are going to lose effectiveness. I think you maybe have committed a little bit too far. If you're on the side of Radiant, they are going to go on to Badonk, but Badonk, very fast, very hard to get on top of, will free path away. It's currently a 5v5, but no real commitment, as Saint actually has to be very, very careful indeed, as the animation was begun by the CK. This is an okay counter to Badonk here. This Wraith King will be able to slow him down for sure. But still, now that they retreat out, I think the game is largely going to reset. And I don't think the actual game state will change too much with this mid tower. Obviously the mid tower is important, but it feels like when you have a Broodmother, you always have access to that push. And this BKB is rapidly losing duration from OD. In the next 5 minutes here, you might see it go all the way down to like a 6 second. Even the 5 second. It's basically being used off cooldown just to survive this this Broodmother. The haste also wears off. The move is going to get put upon him. He's going to take a lot of damage. Meanwhile, though, Pine Cuba is trying to push in. The Chain Frost is there, and actually it's going to do quite a bit of damage. I have to imagine that they're going to lose the Wraith King at least once here, but he's surviving pretty well. Meanwhile, Half Jets will get taken out, and now the Wraith King will fall. As he respawns under the tower, Saint is here and will actually get the pushback. One more right click. Saint gets the double kill. Meanwhile, at some point during that, thought I saw another kill, but I guess I was incorrect. Thought I heard the sound of it. Badonk farms away. Going for that BKB next. Isn't surprising. Yeah, very standard build-up so far. And with that BKB, he will be much harder to deal with. Drow now topping the net worth after that double kill. This is one of those things where maybe your Broodmother doesn't, you know, it's not one of those games where you're 20 minutes going high ground with the Broodmother. Like, there is some counter to the hero. So they do try and go onto him now. But Badonk will be able to juke out into the trees. It's pretty good. And what an escape from Badonk! You'll love to see the jukes like that. And he's actually going to silence onto the CK. The team is here to stomp the Doom onto the OD. OD suddenly in a lot of trouble here, as he is definitely going to fall. The Wraith King's here. Wraith King going to try and get a kill onto Badonk. Meanwhile, the CK has fallen. The deny doesn't come out. And now this Badonk just eliminates that poor tombstone. And I don't think Pi has that ult back up. Yeah, only level 2. So he will fall. And with that blink, the slow, it looks like they'll catch out. The poor Undying again. That's a tier 2. That may be a tier 3 if they elect to continue pushing. Long death timers on the 2 cores. Or, well, 2 of the cores. But Badonk's pretty low. The Macro Pyre, I have to imagine, they're just going to walk away now. Pretty happy with trading that out for that fortification. Badonk slowly heals up from those webs. This is the thing with this Wraith King is he just doesn't feel super powerful right now compared to this Drow Ranger. The Drows, I mean, even if you take away this net worth lead for the Drow, feels like the Wraith King just kind of gets annihilated. Through no fault of his own, really. The meta has just sort of shifted away from this hero in general. As Radiant push out mid a bit, but clearly they're not afraid. As Doom goes in, the leash is there. A Chain Frost likely to come out. Indeed it will. but I don't think the second one would come out. A beautiful blink shot from Donkey Kong, and suddenly the damage is going all over the place. Hexy, very weak, but survived. No, drops, but does get the trade out of the enemy mid as well as a Lich. Donkey Kong, though, kind of being gone on, but that's a very difficult kill. Or is it as Drow shows up? The split shot is big. Meanwhile, though, Sanners will fall. Doom turns around, which was definitely not the play. Now it's Drow's turn to be in a little bit of trouble. Gets the silence, goes for the TP. I do think that he will be able to get out. Indeed, he will. And, that's really a great push for Radiant, unfortunately. A very good fight, though, as we see 2,000, 6,000 XP. They're very happy with that, but unlikely, I think, for them to get a tower out of this. Between the fortification, the ice armor that is absolutely going to come out, and Saint coming back, they actually need to be careful, or they might lose heroes. As they do lose one, the Undying. I think I might petition Ice Frog to rename this hero to Unliving, because it feels like he spends most of the mid to late game dead. Unfortunate. Again, not because of how Tustin's playing this game, just because of how the hero works. This is a bold smoke from Dire. To get the catch out, it could be very good, but Radiant are rightfully retreating. Hexy, though, is waiting to farm this camp, and he will get chained back. The silence will come out, but it's not going to matter as he BKBs up. Put this Badonks in on the back line, and the double doom does actually come out this time, and it's going to be a very, very dead OD. Wraith King will also drop, and I hate to say it, but I don't think you're getting out of here with that second life. Tech 9 comes in, does manage to take out the Grimstroke, but I don't know if that's a trade that you're happy with. And now look at this. Tustin has also come in. They're just kind of chaining one by one, unfortunately. Bit of save your friend syndrome. As Gorks almost dies, and that is a 4-for-1 trade, and Dire are very happy with that. Fight recap, it's the opposite situation. It's almost exactly the same, it feels like. As it looks like Dire are going to pop over to the Roshan pit with this. Very good decision. You can't really commit high ground with these short death timers. I'll just pop the Fortify, let their waves push out. I'll protect that tower a bit. In the meantime, take the Rosh. Now, much slower than last game's Rosh. And actually, they have to be a bit careful here. As that Rosh does deal quite a bit of damage. But now he has the incapacitating bite, so he is going to miss. 60% miss chance. That is insane. Put it on the Saint. And this game is starting to feel a little insurmountable. Side of Rainbow, this Drow very far ahead. But they did just win a big fight not too long ago, so not out of the realm of possibility just yet. Looks like they are just playing together. This is what I was talking about with the Chaos Knight. He has the Blink drum, so he gets a Blink stun. Now he has the Echo Saber. It feels like he's you know, okay at initiation and okay at fighting, but okay damage, but just doesn't feel really good at anything, as he does actually make it go on the Saint. But that's the problem, is there's just not enough damage, and Saint still has this Aegis, so even if he pops, it's not going to be too bad. Gorks comes in pretty aggressively with that Chain Frost. It's going to deal a lot of damage. Now Donks it on the backside. That is a beautiful latch. CK falls, and then rapidly followed by the Jakiro and the OD. Oh, look, Wraith King. You get a second life. Guys? Guys? As he respawns, and he dies. Doesn't even get the consolation prize with banners. Unfortunately. And now it feels much more insurmountable. They didn't even lose the Aegis. All they lost was the Lich, who made sure to save the Drow. But did go in quite deep to get that Glimmer Cape. And Doom's still available. Wraith King dead for 45? This is feeling pretty good for Dire. If they want to walk up to the high ground. It looks like they might actually commit to 2 lanes here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Not bad. The dog can definitely push a lane on his own, but it looks like they will instead back off. Actually, going for this Shiva's Guard, a good item, into the Brood. Some big circles coming out. That big yellow circle does capture the Dire Heroes, but also captures like half the map. Not sure what the communication there is. Look at this. They are going to find Gorgs. Gorgs is exceptionally dead. Could be the start of something, but he doesn't seem too afraid. And in fact, they'll get a double Doom off, as they will rapidly lose their OD and their Undying. They'll both buy back. Jakiro will also die in this stage. I think you're pretty much forced to buy back. They're going in on the Saint, who still has that Aegis. Not even that close to expiring. Jakiro now buys back. It looks like they're going to try and make a play on the Saint. Saint will drop for the first time. They have to get this Drow out. Can't let it be the reverse situation, but with the BKB, the TP, he is going to be just fine. They might lose out on Thanners here. Or will they? As he goes up on the high ground, tries to TP out. It's going to be very close, and he'll make it out. And they'll get 4 bounties, and Badonk's going to keep pushing. What a great fight for Wards. I thought it was gonna go badly for them when they lost the Aegis, when Sanders almost got caught out, but no. They're basically doing whatever they want. Now they're gonna find the CK. Now they're gonna find Tustin. Now they're gonna find Pi and Cuba, who doesn't get the TP out. This is another guys, my favorite voice line on Wraith King, probably. Alright, that's not quite true, but one of my favorites. And the whole time, look at this. Badonk gets half damage into a tier 3. As, oh my goodness, that went really well for the side of Dire. And there's not that many buybacks left for Radiant, I don't think. Just the Wraith King and not even the Undying. Just the Wraith King. So any deaths here are very costly. No, Hexy. No, the Donkey Kong spares him. Doesn't go for the Blink Stomp, which he definitely could have. But there's a BKB available. Is down to 5 seconds. The latch. The leash not gonna latch. Soulbind doesn't quite connect there. But it looks like they are going to take this lane. As Tech9 does try and go in. Does go in on the Thanners. Donkey Kong as well gets slowed down. But so far, a very clean exfil from the side of Dire. Chain Frost won't really connect anything, and Thanners might be in a bit of trouble, although he does not manage to take out the Tombstone. But we have a Blink Doom onto the OD while they're taking out Thanners, and Badonk is in! Badonk's gonna get this kill, I think. They trade out the CK for the Grimstroke, but they'll lose down the OD as in the backline's Drow just takes out the Undying. Pi and Cuba versus Doom. That's not a fight that you want to take when GG is called. What a solid performance from Wards and Base. They just really took back this game. It looked a little... their first game, you know, that can be crushing when you get that comeback against you, but they don't care, because they just pick up the Brood and just roll. Game felt in their favor for the whole game, and I do have to imagine if we look at the graphs, Dota Plus will say the same thing, but I'm rapidly coming to the realization that this is a postcast, and we don't have access to Dota Plus. But you can see from the net worth, pretty quickly went down in their favor here. And that's just a Brood draft. I think that was definitely just a solid outdraft on the side of Wards and Base. Nocturnal Rainbow. They put up a valiant effort, but that 10th pick Brood, it'll do it to you.